Hey guys, last night was pretty rough, but I want to stick to the basics. Some days I don't have any great inspiration. I've been sick, but it's always good when you can't think of anything like inspiring or whatever. Just go back to the basics. And so let's talk about the basics of habituation to tinnitus. Why do we want to habituate? Because if we follow a series of steps, and also as time passes, we don't notice the tinnitus, and then it's kind of like it's gone, and it's almost unbelievable, unimaginable that it's even possible when you're hearing it so loud. Yet it seems to happen to like 98+% of people. Sometimes people go back and forth a little, or it takes them time. But sorry, I'm still sick. No, but it works, and I do believe, even by just judging by some of the comments on this channel, that you can habituate faster. So let's get to the basics of doing that. The basics of habituating is, first, and some of you heard me say this a million times, but go to the doctor if you need to. Let them look at your ears, check your vitals, and let them tell you you're safe. Nothing's going to happen to you. And then from there, take hold of that and know that nothing's crazy wrong with you. And a lot of people have tinnitus, and they learn to deal with it. And, these doctors, they have to worry about lawsuits and stuff. They're trained to look for anything that would be very, suspicious. Where if you got a real big problem or something, they're going to be on the lookout for that, especially. And you don't, go see them and make sure. But chances are super, super high that you have a ring in your ear and you are safe. So from that point, we're going to decide, I am safe and nothing is going to happen to me. You say that again and again because you have a subconscious brain. And by focusing your conscious thoughts on certain ideas, it programs your subconscious brain to treat the problems you're having differently. And then the tinnitus gets better. And that's the first step. It's not the final step. But the first step is saying again and again, believe it until you believe it. There's nothing going to happen to you. You're safe. You just have this sound. And the sound's not going to hurt you. And the really good news is, as you come to believe that, you tune out the sound better. You don't notice it, and it can often be like it's just not there. So you're just not thinking about it whatsoever. But that's the first step, is you need to believe you're safe and know you're okay. Nothing's going to happen to you. The next step is just take a moment and assess how, if you've been reading all these forums and everything, there's some people that sometimes in the forums, it can be Reddit, other places, where people are telling you the worst nightmare of what could happen with tinnitus and how they didn't solve it and how it's just awful. But let me tell you, that's not that 98, 99% of the people who have habituated to it. It's the other 1% that are saying those terrible things. And I feel bad for them, don't get me wrong. I think some of them are can be helped if they could just learn what we're doing here. So know that it's like 98, 90%, 99% of people are going to get this, and the other ones could. They just didn't, get the right information. So, and visualize that. Say that to yourself. I'm just like everybody else. I'm going to learn to habituate, and it's not going to be a problem at all. And if you talk to enough people, you'll find out that it really is 98, 99% of people. They're all fine, but you don't always know that by looking at these internet forums. Excuse me. But it's true. So you're going to be fine. And start imagining you're going to be fine just like everybody else. So first, step number one was know that there's nothing to be afraid of. Step number two is it's going to get better. And these two things, these two ideas, if you say them enough and really, get them into your brain, it gets into your subconscious. And it starts treating the tinnitus differently. You don't hear it as much. It gets quieter, at least in your perception. And then the third one is, I didn't mention the background noise, but that's really helpful, in the beginning stages especially. I've got some noise right now. It doesn't really make a difference to me, but I like it. It's better. But I'm trying to hear my tinnitus. It's there. It's actually pretty good today. So, yeah, it helps to have the background noise. So anyways, let's get into that step number 3. The step number 3 is that as you get to where nothing's wrong and you see the future's coming, well, let's go move into that future. So let's start picking some things that you'll do, that you'll think about, that you'll be involved in, that have nothing to do with tinnitus, that you can progress. You know what the brain loves to do? Progress, improve. So I've said a lot of times, learning a language is a beautiful thing to do. Yeah, because the brain has to recircuit. You kind of make a whole new language in there. And as you learn a new language, you can, you get different thoughts, and you're like the wavelengths going into your ears and stuff. I'm not going to say you suddenly like it's a cure-all and you're suddenly fine. It's just you get where you tune it out and you got a different brain kind of working. And it could be a lot of other things, drawing, martial arts, fencing, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of something that I haven't said before. Yoga, swimming. I don't know. Swimming. Maybe you need earplugs. I don't know. Hiking. Anything that you can just get yourself into and go enjoy. Helping someone. Maybe you can do some volunteer work. But getting away from these thoughts that you have and starting to really get involved in life again and getting involved in things. And at first, you kind of have to force it. Like you're sitting there, like you can see, I'm sick and I'm just laying here in this bed. And what could happen? I'd just be like, oh, sinuses, cough, oh, everything's so terrible. And I'm just always thinking about that. No, I'm not going to do that. But when you have tinnitus, it's like you can't think about anything else. I know, I've been there. But you got to start to force it. Okay, I'm going to draw something. Okay, I'm going to find a song. What's a song you can memorize? I'm going to memorize a song. Day after day, I'm so confused. What's that? Don't be great, drift away. I like that song. I can't remember how it goes though. But you can just learn the lines of the song and then repeat them over and over again. It's kind of something to just kind of interrupt that process of the tinnitus, because you have to remember the song. You've got to sing it, which produces a sound, and then you're interrupting that tinnitus that's going on in there and with something else, and your brain has to focus on that. So you kind of have to force it. You see what I'm saying? You have to force yourself into some, thing you're doing where you can't think about tinnitus, or it's harder to. And after you force it a little bit, you start getting where it's more natural. Hey, I kind of like singing, or I like drawing, or I'm starting to speak another language. That's Chinese. Spanish. What is the word for to start? Is that empezar? Yo empezó a hablar nueva de idioma. I'm starting to speak another language. I've been working on Spanish lately. But anyways, you don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe you do. I don't know. Great. But it's just like, get involved in some things. And then you start moving yourself away from the tinnitus. And all these things, these 3 steps, that's how you get habituated to it. And then you just live a normal life. And yeah, occasionally you notice it. Or some people like talk about getting spikes where it gets louder. And then they kind of have to redo the habituation. But it's not as hard the second time and third time usually. So, anyways, that's my video for today. I'm trying to get better. Last night, I would sleep for 30 minutes, wake up, drink some water, be awake for 30 minutes, then sleep for 30 minutes again. I did that about 4 or 5 times. And then in the late morning, I slept like 3 or 4 hours. The one thing I didn't think about? Tinnitus. So, maybe it's helped me to not even worry about being sick anymore. It's like, I've got other things to think about. Yeah. Okay. Well, have a wonderful day. I'll see you.